Good evening and welcome on the news tonight. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu launches Red Rail Line commercial operations to move 500,000 people daily. CAF delays Nigeria-Libya march as National Assembly calls for probe over real treatment of Super Eagles. Nigeria to host first international gathering in honor of Africans in the diaspora. And on the international scene, U.S. gives Israel 30 days to boost aid to Gaza or risk some military aid cuts. We'll bring you details in a moment. Please stay with us. Thank you for joining us. I am Adetola Kayode. You're welcome. Lagosians who reside on the Red Rail Line corridor are set to enjoy. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu kicks off. Apologize for that. We'll take a report on the production, not the kickoff of the Red Rail Line passenger operations in Lagos by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Who reside on the Red Rail Line corridor are set to enjoy what those on the Blue Line corridor are enjoying as passenger operations on the Red Line kicks off on Tuesday, 15th October 2024, with Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu signing on as the first passenger. The train kicked off from the Oyigbo train station at exactly 5:20 p.m., attesting to the precision and timeliness of this comfortable mode of transportation. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu visibly happy and excited about another great achievement in his vision of achieving a multi-modal transport system in Nigeria's commercial capital, says this will definitely help solve a major challenge of traffic gridlock.
It's an experience that we believe will help solve public transportation issues in Lagos. Is an experience that we believe will reduce journey time for our citizens. Is an experience that we believe will ease connectivity.
While enjoining the general public to own the infrastructure and always treat it right, Governor Sanwo-Olu assured the people that more rolling stocks are coming into the fleet.
What we're about is about ensuring that we can fulfill all of our promises, especially on the Red Line. I haven't fulfilled similar promise on the Blue Line. We're still expecting additional more rolling stock, which will come in the course of our time in the new year.
The Red Line will kick off 6 a.m. every day and will run through Oyigbo, Oshodi, Ikeja, Agege, Iju and Agbado train stations with maximum fare of 1,500 naira from Oyigbo to Agbado and a minimum of 500 naira. Adetola Kayode, OTV News. The government of Lagos will continue to work on enhancing the ease of doing business whilst working on government bureaucracies capable of stifling investment and funding. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu reiterated this commitment when he declared open the Lagos Physical Planning Summit. The Lagos Physical Planning Summit with the theme Rethinking Lagos, a new vision for a regional and integrated megacity is another opportunity for government and other stakeholders to discuss, plan and prioritize how Lagos can maintain its economic position, status and growth in a little over 3,000 square kilometer landlocked megacity, plus 22 million in population and still counting. The keynote speaker, who is a former governor governor in Lagos and Nigeria's former minister Babatunde Fashola SAN, the conversation surrounding a megacity is not just about a destination. It is more of a status, and it behoves town planners in the society to envision how a state and environment will evolve, emphasizing that Lagos has all of the resources to be at par with other megacities of the world.
If the town planner steps forward and begins to take us on that journey of visioning, on that journey to prosperity, some of the problems we agonize about today will be solved much quicker because we will understand why and what needs to be done.
The former governor did not leave the stage without dropping off some of his thoughts and ideas that can grow this mega city called Lagos, including being audacious, ambitious, and creative in planning for the future.
If the buildings are used for commercial purposes and all of that, the turnover in VAT that comes from those value-added taxes is the real sustainable revenue that the state can project its future on. Let us be clear. Payment approval as revenue is tunnel vision, is no vision at all.
For Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, his administration is working tooth and nail in ensuring the implementation of Lagos's master plan using his Things Plus agenda. He assured that all of the bottlenecks created by government bureaucracies will be checked, as they can be discouraging to investments and will be investors, tasking professionals in the field to tend to the needs of the people using international best practices.
Our commitment is to continue to ensure that the ease of doing business is improved upon, is enhanced, that we do not kill investors, we do not kill investment, we do not drive away funding. If anybody I know too well, that money is fungible and money usually will go to the best place, to the best region that requires and have the environment for it. And so we cannot be complacent even with our mega city status. We need to continue to think out of the box and challenge ourselves to ensure that FDIs that come into our space are real, because they can always get value for their investment.
At the maiden Lagos Physical Planning Summit, which will now be a biennial event, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu launched the permit identification tag. Adetola Kayode, LTV News. And moving to the Federal Capital Territory, the Senate has asked Libya to apologize to the Nigerian government over the ill treatment it meted out to Nigeria's senior football men's team, Super Eagles, on Monday. This was after the Senate President Godswill Akpabio condemned the act, while also demanding a probe and penalization of Libya over the matter. Under personal explanation, Senator Ismail Akau raised the ill treatment of the Super Eagles football team by the Libyan authorities and Football Federation in Libya, condemning the actions of the Libyan authorities for these unwarranted hostilities. He noted with regret that the actions of the Libyan authorities and Football Federation did not only endanger the lives of the players, but other members of the delegation. He also urged the federal government through the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs to call the attention of the Libyan government to the negative diplomatic consequences of such action. Earlier, in a statement, Akpabio decried the antics and shameful behavior of the Libyan officials and authorities, saying the unfortunate incident is a stark reminder of the disregard for human dignity and the lack of respect for international norms. He declared that the reported mistreatment of the players is not only unacceptable, but also a breach of the principles of fair play and sportsmanship of international football competitions. And the House of Representatives has called on the federal government to immediately invite the Libyan ambassador to Nigeria for questioning over the inhumane treatment of Nigeria's senior football team, the Super Eagles, by the Libyan Authority. While condemning the indecent treatment meted out on the Nigerian football team by the Libyan Football Federation, the House also sympathized with the members of the team as well as appreciate their patriotism during their ordeal. The Green Chamber urged the Nigerian Football Federation to make an official complaint to the Confederation of African Football (CAF) and the Federation of International Football Association FIFA for the dehumanization of the Super Eagles players and the NFF contingents by the Libyan Authority on the 13th of October 2024 in Libya. These resolutions followed the adoption of a motion raised during plenary by Honorable Kabiru Maipale, member representing Gusau Safe Federal Constituency, Zamfara State.
Appreciate their patriotism. Number 3, to urge the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, to make an official complaint to the Confederation of African Football (CAF) and the Federation of International Football Association (FIFA) for the dehumanization of the Super Eagles players and NFF contingent by the Libyan authorities on the 13 to 14 October 2024 in Libya. Number 4, to call on the federal government of Nigeria to immediately invite the Libyan ambassador to Nigeria for questioning on the development above.
The Committee on Sports Development was also mandated to investigate the incident and report back to the House for further legislative action. And moving on, the senator representing Kano South, Sumaila Kawu, has advocated the elective and appointed political office holders be subjected to drug tests before assuming office, contributing to a debate on the floor of the Senate on Tuesday in Abuja. Senator Kawu alleged that political leaders buy drugs for their supporters during elections, even as most security operatives are drug peddlers. He made these objections in a debate on a bill to establish a National Institute for Drug Awareness and Rehabilitation to coordinate and promote awareness, prevent substance abuse, and facilitate the rehabilitation of drug users, sponsored by Senator Rufai Hanga from Kano Central.
Whereas the African Diaspora Union, AFRICU, acknowledges the May 25, 2012 declaration of the Global African Diaspora Summit held in St. Johannesburg, South Africa, by the African Union, and recognizing the decision at the summit to encourage the diaspora to organize themselves in regional networks and establish appropriate mechanisms that will enable their increasing participation in the affairs of the African Union.
In their contributions, Senator Siriake Dixon and Adams Oshiomhole strongly opposed the establishment of a new agency to tackle the problem of drug abuse, especially with the existence of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. While Senator Dixon alluded that drug consumption has fueled crime and criminality in Nigeria, Oshiomhole said it was better to strengthen the act establishing the NDLEA to deal with the problems raised by their colleagues.
Out of Nigeria during the transatlantic slave trade, and many, due to new technology of DNA, are tracing their roots back to Nigeria, back to their local governments, and back to their roots.
After a heated debate, the bill scaled second reading after a voice vote coordinated by the Deputy Senate President Jibrin Barau and referred it to the Committee on Drugs and Narcotics to report back in 4 weeks. And Nigeria is set to play host to the Made in African Descendants Diaspora Homecoming and Global African Economic Investment Summit. The president of the African Diaspora Union, AFRIDIO, Chidiebere Ogbo, stated this at a World Press Conference ahead of the summit in Abuja. Ogbo noted that the summit is a veritable opportunity for a global investment summit in Nigeria, as it seeks not only to attract African descendants into Africa for investment purposes, but also to create a move on reparative justice, which can be a win-win situation. He further assured that the visit by Africans in the diaspora will attract about $30 trillion worth of investment and 5 million jobs in the areas of ethical mining, agribusiness, oil and gas, real estate, trade, and lots more to boost development in Africa.
2012 declaration of the Global African Diaspora Summit held in St. Johannesburg, South Africa by the African Union, and recognizing the decision at the summit to encourage the diaspora to organize themselves in regional networks and establish appropriate mechanisms that will enable their increasing participation in the affairs of the African Union.
The Chairman, Chief Executive Officer, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, represented by the Secretary to the Commission, Dr. Sule Yakubu Bassi, stated that the inaugural summit is very timely in converging Africans in the diaspora to harness the human, material, and economic resources of the African diaspora for Africa's progress.
Who are great children of Nigerians that were taken out of Nigeria during the transatlantic slave trade. And many, due to new technology of DNA, are tracing their roots back to Nigeria, back to their local governments, and back to their roots.
The first edition of the event is sited in Abuja, Nigeria, because of the country's historical role as the epicenter of transatlantic slave trading. The elaborate event is scheduled for October 18 to 27, and it will feature a series of events, including the Global African Investment Summit holding at the Eagle Square, Abuja, and the Badagry Door of Return Festival holding in Lagos on October 26 and 27, 2024. And in other stories, the People's Democratic Party, PDP Governors Forum, PDPGF, has instructed feuding members of the party to revert to the status quo. The directive was given by the chairman of the forum, who was also the Bauchi State Governor, Bala Muhammad, after a meeting of the governors, which ended in the early hours of today. Muhammad said, as political party, the PDP is bound to have disputes among members, but that those challenges can always be resolved and all the suspensions have been nullified. Recall that on Friday, a federal high court in Abuja barred the PDP National Executive Committee from removing Umar Damagum as the acting national chairman of the party. The court judgment came after suspension and counter-suspension crises rocking the party, causing an uproar. The Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Martin Amewule, has declared the seats of Edison Ehie, the Chief of Staff to Governor Siminalayi Fubara, and 3 other pro-Fubara lawmakers vacant following their absence from sittings for 152 days. Making this known at plenary, Speaker Martin Amewule pointed out that Ehie did not properly write to inform the House of his new office, and as such, a seat has been declared vacant. Regarding Victor Okojumbo and the 2 others, the House held 3 separate votes to declare their seats vacant for absenteeism from sitting for 152 days consecutively without notification or permission, in violation of the 1999 Constitution. The Assembly further agreed to write to INEC to conduct elections to replace the now vacant seats within 90 days to provide representation for their people. Also, the House agreed to give Governor Fubara another opportunity to present the 2024 Appropriations Bill following the nullification by the Appeal Court of the 800 billion naira bill, which he had presented to a parallel house led by Edison Hehie. The federal government has confirmed the petition initiated by the Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, calling on the United Kingdom to acknowledge the Yoruba Nation was not endorsed by the UK government. The spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Eche Abuobe, said media reports on the petition were highly misleading. It further explained that following the media reports on the petition submitted at number 10 Downing Street by Sunday Igboho, the British High Commissioner in Abuja was invited to shed light on the issue, which the commissioner noted was an overblow. The High Commissioner informed that the letter was not endorsed by any agency of the UK government nor the UK Parliamentary Petitions Committee, but was merely an established practice of allowing the delivery of letters and petitions to number 10. And Justice Yusuf Halilu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court sitting in Jabi, Abuja, has issued an interim order against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, restraining it from arresting or detaining a former Minister of Defense, Lawal Batagarawa, over a land dispute matter. The court also restrained the commission and its agents, privates, or anyone acting on their behalf from inviting, harassing, intimidating, or otherwise threatening Batagarawa pending further proceedings. The order was made following allegations that Batagarawa had been subjected to undue harassment by the anti-graft agency. Justice Halilu also ordered substituted service of originating process and other legal documents on the EFCC and other respondents in this suit. Meanwhile, in an affidavit dated September 20, 2024, the applicant details various instances of harassment, including his detention at the EFCC office on August 19 and 20, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. before being released on administrative bail. He also alleged that he had been subjected to repeated summons and harassment on phone from EFCC agents. According to Batagarawa, the EFCC's actions were based on false allegations orchestrated by the fourth respondent, Patrick Eneke, and his legal representatives who claimed ownership of the disputed plot of land. You're still watching the news on Lagos Television. Still ahead. Lagos State Government holds effective project management workshop, assures projects that add values to residents. That's in a moment. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying tuned. The Nigeria Police says it is committed to the reconstruction of the Falomo Police Barracks in conjunction with the Lagos State government and the private sector. The barracks, previously in disrepair, will undergo a complete redesign and reconstruction to provide modern, habitable accommodations. A statement from the Office of the Force Public Relations Officer Force Headquarters, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, hinted that the project, which was initiated under the leadership of former Inspector General of Police Usman Baba Alkali, in collaboration with the Lagos State government through a public-private partnership, will soon come into reality following the commitment of the current IGP Kayode Egbetokun to improving officers' housing. A nationwide assessment revealed that less than 25% of police personnel have access to adequate barracks accommodation, with 90% of existing barracks falling into severe disrepair. The urgent reconstruction of these facilities, including Falomo Barracks, is not only necessary but aligns with international best practices to ensure the safety and well-being of police officers. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention says Mpox has spread to 63 local government areas in the country across 25 states and the Federal Capital Territory. According to the report, 94 confirmed cases have been reported out of the 1,297 suspected cases recorded so far from January 1 to October 6, 2024. The NCDC noted that 47 new suspected cases were reported in week 40, 2024, compared with 67 cases reported in week 39. It, however, noted that 6 confirmed cases were reported in the week 40 compared with 10 confirmed cases reported in week 39. The Office of the Chief of Staff says effective project management contributes immensely to the success of any government, and Lagos State government will not rest on its oars in delivering projects which will be of value to its citizens. This was stated at a 4-day workshop on project management. Olubukola Akinkole-Osho has the details.
Effective project management is the backbone of any administration, and with the public service being the engine room of government, a workshop such as this aims to explore the challenges inherent in actualizing successful project management. This workshop has political appointees and public servants to help sharpen their project management skill.
Through effective project management, we will not only drive sustainable development, but also create positive impacts that meets today's needs while laying the foundation for a future that will outlast our generation. This workshop is a significant milestone in our ongoing journey towards project management excellence. It provides us with an intentional platform to sharpen our skills, grow as a government, and continuously learn how to deliver positive outcomes our citizens deserve.
Project management is essential for modern governance practice because it enables government to deliver effective public service, policies, and also meet the needs of citizens. By recognizing the importance of project management, government can improve governance outcome, drive innovation, and enhance overall well-being of citizens as a responsible government.
Topics such as fundamentals of project management, approaches to best practices, and feedback and adaptation is being delved into at this workshop.
There's also the paradigm shift in project management today, where you have the insights into agile and AI coming into play, and bringing that understanding and that breadth of knowledge, and sharing that knowledge with the team. And this helps empower and increase and improve the level of delivery currently happening within. There will be a level of adaptation. How will it work in Lagos? There's no need I giving you something that worked in the US and force you to implement it verbatim in Nigeria. It doesn't work that way. We're not saying that we're going to solve all the problems, but the journey starts from a step and the change of mindset, because I want people to understand that this is we're talking about is not peculiar to Lagos or peculiar to Nigeria.
The 4-day workshop is part of the strategies of the present administration in Lagos towards building a resilient and prosperous future for the state. Olubukola Akin Kolusha, LTV News.
Honorable Gbolahan Yishao, representing Etiosa constituency 2, has promised to make seats available to residents interested in farming. He said the 9th edition of the constituency stakeholders meeting of the Lagos State House of Assembly is focused on enhancing food production in the state. Olatudo Yusuf tells us more.
Addressing his constituents, Honorable Gbolahan Yishao urged Lagosians to work together to secure the future of food production in the state. He highlighted the role of youth in creating a thriving agriculture sector.
The country needs to diversify, and the process of diversifying agriculture is what we need to go to, and that has been identified. I can't overstate it. We remember the cocoa days, the groundnut days, all the agri produce that we've been having in our country used to be our mainstay before oil came into play. And also, food is critical. We talk about food inflation. Food inflation is the biggest factor in inflation that currently pervades our country. So if we can also do something about agriculture and do something about food, inflation will definitely come down.
Emphasizing the importance of the stakeholders meeting in fostering engagement between lawmakers and their constituents, he said feedbacks received from the people help shape policies and projects that are prioritized in the House of Assembly.
The major issue honorable members had was that people say they can't see them, they can't meet them, they can't engage them. But since we started these town hall meetings, that has fizzled away. People have opportunity to engage us. We also engage them. They tell us their mind. So whatever we do in the House of Assembly is what the people within the constituency want us to ask. So whatever goes into the budget is fallout of what we bring back from this town hall meeting.
Stakeholders at the meeting reiterated the need for youth to participate in agriculture, not just as a profession, but as a way to address food security challenges and contribute to the nation's economic diversification.
Yes, food security is very important. You know, God has given us the ability to plant. God has given us the ability to create. And when we have that capacity and, you know, we're blessed with such arable lands, what we have is the ability to essentially solve the issues that we're facing, which are not unique to Lagos, they're not unique to Nigeria. The whole world is suffering a global recession. So people taking advantage of what they have. We have good soil and we have the ability to help ourselves to become better, help ourselves to not only grow for us to eat, but grow for us to sell and add value to the society.
The event concluded with a call to all citizens to take personal responsibility at ensuring food security and reducing inflation, which has been significantly driven by rising food prices. Olatudo Yusuf, LTV News.
And to this one, the Nigerian girl child has equal rights with a male counterpart, including rights to education, social security, and welfare, and should never be deprived of such for any reason. This was the estimation of various speakers at this year's International Day of the Girl Child in Badagry. Our Bureau Chief, Samuel Dada, has the details.
Education is a light, and I must let no one keep out of my own sight. I will hold on to it, head high, shoulders high, and this is my pride.
Who stopped the killing of twins in Calabar? It wasn't not a female. It was the female that stopped the killing of twins in Calabar. Where is the male? Where are the male?
The International Day of Girl Child is designed by the United Nations to recognize the rights as well as draw attention to the unique challenges confronting the girl child around the world. Students from schools in Badagry gathered here to participate in various activities commemorating the important day. the need for equal rights of a girl child with a male counterpart and adequate protection of such rights, amongst others, topped the submission of stakeholders at the event.
And they need to have visions for themselves. What will they become in the future? And as you can see, the world is becoming women's world already. They need to buckle up because very soon the whole Nigeria will be ruled by women.
As a girl, you can achieve a lot. You can go higher. You can break bands.
They also advised the Nigerian girl child to remain focused on the set goal and never succumb to societal pressure of playing a second fiddle to their male counterparts.
A good recognition and a form of encouragement for our future girls, that though they are girls for today, but that the tomorrow belongs to them. But they cannot make the future without hard work, without dedication, and without setting for themselves goals, and without having mentors, people they look onto, that they can at least do much better than those people they're looking ahead of.
See that in many countries, globally, men are the helm of affairs, and they have failed us. If we can train our girl child very well, give them good education, very sound moral background and foundation, they can be the best.
It was a worthwhile experience for participants who described the event as an eye-opener and a fulfilling engagement.
Child should be guided in the society because we are also important figures in the society.
That if anything a guy or a man is doing, we ladies too, we can do more. Even if our parents are like, we don't have, maybe they don't want to invest more in us, we have a name and a dignity to protect, and we can make the future brighter than the male child.
The theme of this year's celebrations is Girls' Vision for the Future. Samuel Dada, LTV News.
The federal lawmaker at the House of Representatives representing Ekpe constituency, Honorable Wale Raji, has continued to attract massive infrastructural development to the premier college in Ekpe division, the Ekpe Grammar School. In this special report by correspondent Olumi Deojo, Wale Raji attributed the need to bridge infrastructural gaps, provide conducive learning environment, passion for academic excellence, and love for one's alma mater as the drive behind this dedication to overseeing an overhaul of infrastructure in the college. Here's Olumide's report.
Ekpe Grammar School, the very first secondary school in Ekpe Division, has always been known for academic excellence, which it had maintained for decades. The school has also produced eminent personalities who have shown through their deeds that their alma mater groomed them properly. Honorable Wale Raji is one of the products of the school, and his tenure at the House of Representatives has allowed him to attract massive infrastructure to the school.
As a product of the school, and as member representing a federal constituency, the gaps, that infrastructural gaps that we have noticed in the school, we need to intervene, to give back to the institution that has produced us and the community that has produced us. So that necessitated the intervention.
The premises of the school has turned into a construction site, a development the school principal and members of the alumni executive termed unprecedented in the history of the Premier Grammar School.
They are really trying for us in the school, so we thank them for all they are doing for us, and we thank the old students too because they are doing wonderful in the school.
What is going on here is about the best you can have in the state. There is no school in Lagos State today that is enjoying what Ekpe Grammar School is enjoying through our honorable member of the House of Reps. He has turned the school around within 2 years to a first-class school in the country. Look at the beautiful facility, the stadium, a massive complex over there, roads everywhere in the compound, solar light everywhere. What else do you need? It's a beauty of a thing.
It's not because he's amateur, it's because he's passionate about the school. I want to believe there are other people too who are passed out of this school and still doing well in their various positions. The old students have developed this school more than 90% in their strength. So Lagos State government too should come join us and make this the oldest school, the first school in Ekpe division. So it deserves everything that will give that status of the oldest school.
Honorable Wale Raji stressed that the motto of the alma mater, "We study to serve," has been a constant wake-up call for him and all true old students of Ekpe Grammar School.
Any student from Ekpe Grammar School, has already had that imbibed right from our days in school. So we were trained to serve, and that's exactly what we are doing at Ekpe Grammar School and at Ekpe constituency generally.
Infrastructure is making the school more conducive for students to live in. The school has created a sports center for students to play football, and also the renovation of the hostel, making it more conducive for students to live in.
Honorable Raji and others urge individuals, groups and corporate organizations to strive to complement government efforts in the education sector from primary to tertiary institutions. Olumide Ojo, LTV News.
And the Lagos State government, through the Safety Commission, has held a one-day seminar for schools across the state with the theme Building a Strong Cyber Safety Awareness in Schools. Ayola Adelisi was there for LTV, and she filed in this report.
The internet offers boundless opportunities to learn, connect and grow, but it also comes with risk. Young people in particular are increasingly vulnerable to the dangers lurking online. Cyberbullying, facing scams, identity theft, exposure to inappropriate content, and online predators are just a few of the challenges students encounter on the cyberspace. Sadly, many students are unaware of the risk and become victims of these threats. In this regard, Director General, Lagos State Safety Commission, Larry Mojola, says government remains committed to eradicating cyber attacks, which is the reason behind the safety awareness seminar in schools.
Digital safety is also a very trending issue right now globally, where, like they say, the world is a global village. So the children are in a physical location, but they're having influences from all over the world. They're having influences, digital disruptors, they're having erroneous influences from all sorts of people, from hackers, from fraudsters, from people that have very bad intentions, bad mindsets.
Some of these children even know better than us, so we are all learning. And this program is therefore aimed at ensuring overall security, including the cyber security generally.
Commending the Lagos State government, speakers here describe the seminar as timely.
School community is where we right all the wrongs. School is for facts. It's for children to learn the right thing. So at the end of the day, even if we get it wrong at home, we should be able to have a fail-safe system in school to bridge the gap and the opportunity for children to learn and to also understand how to navigate the digital space in a very safe way that will not impact on their own lifestyle and their future.
Some students speak on the lessons learned with high hopes of putting them into practice.
Taking people's money, they feel embarrassed, they don't want to socialize with people, and I feel this program for us kids is to tell us that we should be aware that there are people trying to bully us online. There are people trying to make us feel like we are not like other people. They are making us feel that we don't belong here.
You have to be careful of your presence online, be aware of what you post online, because the internet never forgets. You should be able to speak up to an adult when you see the wrong thing online, because nowadays one can just be trying to do their homework online and they may be seeing something that was wrong. So one should be able to talk to the proper adults and speak to them to help them. And the last thing is, do not share pictures with strangers, because you really don't know who you're talking to, because one can disguise themselves as a child, but you might be talking to a 50-year-old man.
With the rise of false narratives and cyberbullying on social media space, it is believed that this seminar by the Lagos State Safety Commission will equip students with the right tools to protect them against cyberbullies. Ayola Adelisi, LTV News.
And still to come in the news. National grid collapses again, second time in 24 hours. That's the business news. Please stay with us.
On Business News tonight, the national grid has collapsed barely 24 hours after electricity distribution companies across Nigeria announced the grid collapsed around 6:48 p.m. on Monday, resulting in the loss of power supply across their networks. Eco Electricity Distribution Company EKDC, which serves some parts of Lagos on its X-handle, apologized again to its users after the system collapsed at 9:17 hours on Tuesday morning, which has resulted to a loss of power supply across network. They have also assured the people that they are working together with their partners in order to restore the grid and will consecutively keep them updated. Vice President Kashim Shettima has decried the impact of climate change on Nigeria, stressing that the intermittent power supply, perennial floods, and food crisis are some of its adverse effects in Nigeria. Vice President Shettima, who spoke at the Africa Climate Forum 2024 in Abuja, said the climate-driven realities are vivid reminders that no nation in Africa is immune to climate change consequences. The Vice President, represented by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Economic Council and Climate Change, Rukaya El-Rufai, says Nigerians must consciously strive to protect the environment. He adds that the adverse effects of climate change in Africa can only be mitigated when African countries stand together, adding that this act will not only secure a greener future, but will serve as a springboard into global leadership on climate action and up-aid the economy. The latest Consumer Price Index report from the National Bureau of Statistics says Nigeria's headline inflation rate for September 2024 rose to 32.70% after slowing consecutively in the previous 2 months of July and August. It is a marginal increase of 0.55% from the August 2024 figure of 32.15%, reflecting ongoing price measures across the country. Year-on-year inflation has surged by 5.98 percentage points compared to the 26.72% recorded in September 2023. Food prices remain a key driver of inflation, with the food inflation rate climbing to 37.77% in September 2024, a notable rise of 7.13% from the 30.64% recorded in the same period last year. The increase in food inflation is largely attributed to rising prices of staples such as rice, maize, beans, and yams. Month on month, the food inflation rate also increased to 2.64% in September 2024, up from 2.37% in August. And that's all on Business News. Up next are today's figures on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Director General, Lagos State Sports Commission, Lekan Fatudu, says governments will partner with organizations and well-meaning individuals to develop the sector and provide opportunities for teaming youths to achieve greatness in their chosen careers. Fatudu expressed the state government's readiness to collaborate with philanthropists and people of goodwill on advancing sports development during the inspection of the ongoing works at the state-of-the-art boxing gymnasium donated to Lagos State by the Chief Executive Officer, Yukateco Boxing Promotions, Omole Yakubu Imadu. The ultra-modern boxing gym, which is under construction, is situated inside the Teslim Balogun Stadium, Surulere, and is expected to be completed and delivered to the Lagos State government in December this year. Speaking during the inspection to the facility, Fatodu said the donation will ensure that Lagos State continues to churn out talented boxers, noting that the gesture will not only promote development of the sport, but also help youth to redirect their energy into positive activities.
And there's no better way to bring that talent out than providing the necessary infrastructure for them to practice and to shape and to hone their skill. I want to say a big thank you to Honorable Madu for his generosity of heart, for ensuring that we will continue to bring out, talents in boxing in Lagos State. And I also want to extend a big thank you to Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, our dynamic and sport-loving governor, who is always available to give his approval to anything that has got to do with sport development.
While affirming commitment to timely completion of the project, Imadu expressed satisfaction with the progress achieved so far, explaining that the developmental support through infrastructure and provision of equipment will enhance the growth of boxing in Nigeria.
So I am here today to make sure the given promise, the energy through which we started the program, that we're still in touch, to see what the contractor has done so far with what we have expended to them, to make sure we are able to deliver it within the time frame. And that's why I am here today to check. With what I've seen, I'm really happy. With what I've seen here, in another couple of weeks, we should be done with it.
Imadu, who is the president, Boxing Promoters Association of Nigeria, revealed that such interventions have been extended to other states, especially in the southwest, following the donation of equipment to Osun State.
Southwest is our first area of constituency, whom we have to replicate this and do this other study from Lagos, and we begin to move to other zones in Nigeria, because boxing development, as far as Yukateku is concerned, is for Nigeria. We want to see boxing on a greater height. We want to see him as prime sport.
Technical Director Yukateku Boxing League, Babatunde Laguda, acknowledged the huge impact of the gym on boxing development and the potential to produce new generation of athletes for Lagos State and Nigeria.
Men that have been going to national stadium and all those places to train, you see them, they come here, and it's a very good development for boxing in Lagos State. It's not staying in Lagos State alone. Other states are going to have their own share. Oyo, I think Oyo is the next station now.
Apart from the investment in infrastructure and equipment, Imadu, through his outfit, Yukateku Boxing Promotions, is revolutionizing and championing the growth of the sports on the continent with initiatives such as the Pan-African Championship and the first of its kind boxing league for amateur boxers in Nigeria.
And on to news outside Nigeria, we hear the U.S. has written to Israel's government, giving it 30 days to urgently boost humanitarian aid access in Gaza or face having some U.S. military assistance cut off. The letter, which calls on Israel to end the isolation of northern Gaza, is the strongest known written warning from the Biden administration to its ally. The UN says the situation in northern Gaza is desperate as it delivers the first food aid allowed into the area in more than 2 weeks. This is coming as Gaza's Ministry of Health claims that at least 55 people were killed in the past 24 hours in the enclave, with at least 12 bodies recovered after an Israeli attack near Al-Fallujah in the besieged Jabalia refugee camp. Israel says it is rooting out Hamas fighters who have regrouped in the north in an offensive which has forced closure of water wells, bakeries, medical points, and shelters. And just before we go, let's take another look at our top stories. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has launched the Lagos State Red Rail Line commercial operations, projected to move 500,000 people daily. CAF has delisted Nigeria-Libya match in the ongoing AFCON 2025 qualifier as President Bola Tinubu and the National Assembly call for probe over ill treatment of Super Eagles. Nigeria is set to host first international gathering tagged Homecoming in honor of Africans in diaspora. And
And on the foreign scene, the United States has given Israel 30 days to boost its aid to Gaza or risk some military aid cuts. And for more news, please connect with Lagos Television on these social media platforms. Please consider this thought. Happiness is not by chance, but it is by choice. And that's the way it is on the news at 8 on Lagos Television. And in case of emergencies, please call 767 or 112. They are toll-free lines. Thank you for watching. I am Aditola Kayode. And on behalf of the crew, we wish that you have a wonderful night rest. God bless Nigeria.